Okay, welcome, and let me get this text off of here. Right, the purpose of this is to just go over what we are seeing in the markets, I'll talk about some of the trades I've been doing, and then we'll talk about some potential trades that are coming up. If you want to put your mics on and talk to me, that's fine. You can do that if you want, and ask me any questions. You can type any questions in the box. Otherwise, I'll just carry on. So this Dow on the daily chart, ever since this March lift, has been doing well. These fibs are pinball fibs. Pinball is an Elliott wave Fibonacci method of shifting the range after you've experienced a 5 and 3 wave move. So I've moved these fibs, taken from there, onto the low of this C wave completion. Okay, so this has been shifted up to here to give us a new range, and that's working well because this 27,180 level is proving to be a real barrier to the trades. But I think I suspect that we can get above here, and if we do, I think we can get as high as 28.5. At which stage, if we can get that high, obviously we've got a lot of resistance up here from the June highs. I think that's about 27.5. If we can get through that 27.5, then 28.5 is possible on a nice move up here. It is a decent pattern. You've got a decent cup and a handle potential shape there. Cup and handle is a very old-fashioned chart pattern. I don't hear people talk about really. So that's the potential. So these dips are still worth buying on the Dow. It's just causing this fib level is causing a problem. Actually, if I arrange that, you can see this is March 3rd highs here. This is the level where this wave 3 came down after the initial impulse wave. So you can see there's a lot of issues to do with that level. In the meantime, so we're flat on the day, very, very flat, very low volume. Typical summer day, really. It feels like a summer Friday rather than midweek. It's so slow and so shaky. Okay, so I think the pullbacks are still worth buying, and we did that in the room. Unfortunately, we didn't get it just broke out at the open. It just bust up. You look at the 10-minute chart, it just, the first 10-minute bar was just straight up, hardly, very, very little hesitation. So our normal entry points and entry criteria wasn't met. In the meantime, this is very flimsy and very flaky and not doing much. This gap, this dotted red line down here, is the Friday close. So at the low during the Euro session, we almost hit the Friday close, the Friday night close, that is, not the Friday cash close. So these are all key points that we talk about in the trading room. These are all factored into our trading. And this is a big boon to what we're trying to achieve. Just grab a gulp of drink. So we've got the trendline resistance coming above us. So 940, 960 was touched. So it's possible all we're going to see is 880. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade that in the last hour, see if they can come back into that support in the last hour and then push back up into that resistance. Every time that resistance level is tested, it gets weaker. It's a bit like yeah, a builder chiseling away at a wall. Yeah, if we can come back, if we can reload down here and then ultimately come back, whether or not we can break through that today, I don't know. I suspect not, because we're mid-earnings season in the US, and we've got airlines this week, tomorrow in fact, and I've got Microsoft after the close. 5 minutes after the close, we've got Microsoft. In fact, I think we've got Tesla either today or tomorrow. And then Friday, we've got American Express. There's a lot of data to get through for this market, and very little other data. There's no real fundamental data. It's just earnings this week. So we've got one of the key factors this week has been, this has helped sustain the markets, I think. It's been this, hang on, let me get rid of this. I think it's been this dollar. This dollar is just crumbling at the moment, which is causing a problem for the DAX. DAX likes a weak currency. A weak currency generally stokes up, in normal healthy conditions, a weak currency stokes up the market. So the Dow, well, the US markets are performing really, really well on the back of this weak dollar. So what does that mean? That means oil is potentially going to get back up to the highs. I've taken taken about 70 pips out of oil at the moment, and waiting to, at some stage that's going to get to 43.50. Again, don't know if that's today. It's weak, it's range bound, so I'm not holding on to that for too long, just trying to sit in that and see if that's got the volume to break. So that that's my sort of bread and butter today, because it's really hard to make living out of the indices. DAX is just resting after that giant push on Monday. You can see this pattern we've got, huge resistance above. So all of these indices are knocking up against key levels. And one of the things that's coming down the pipeline is, just as the UK is going to come to the end of furlough, so the state support in the US finishes very soon. I think it's the end of this month. So I think the markets are, at the moment, feeling less exuberant because of the threat of these the support about to be stopped. Okay, so DAX, I wish I'd steer clear of, because that was a tough day today. I actually got a stop out on the DAX. So no, I took some profits and then got in again and got stopped out. It's a nightmare, not a great trade at all. Right, moving across to other commodities. Gold is screaming ahead. So the more the US prints money, the more the gold is likely to push higher. That's accelerated really, really nicely now. So any pullbacks to this, oops, didn't mean to do that. Any pullbacks to that trend line are to be bought. So if we see 1840, that could potentially push nicely towards these high numbers. So the question is now, people aren't asking so much when, is oil going to get to 2000? It's a question of when. People are asking when it's going to get to 2000 on a breakout like that. I still think there's time to get in this. If you look at the period over here, where we broke up, we spent quite a while moving sideways, about 6 weeks, and then this nice push downwards took out some weak hands, and then got the volume going, and then we start to march up again. So I talked about oil at 1720 here. So gold, did I say? I think I said oil, didn't I? Talked about gold at 1720, and it talks about various pullbacks on the way. This is where you could, if you've got something that's trending really well, you can add to the trade. You could either trade the waves or get out at resistance and buy at support. Okay, we've got hindsight here, but you can do it in by drilling down to smaller time frames. If you look at the 2 hour, this is my 2 hour chart, and you can see at the beginning of July we came in at 1560, hesitated at 1785, pulled back the moving average, and then hit my extension at 1817. Then we drifted back almost to the June highs, not quite, and then we just broke out. There's a pattern like that we've seen intraday on the oil, which is why I took the oil. All right, so on a big market like this, it's just a question of, this looks pretty dire, doesn't it? Looks as if that's rolling over. But all it's done is come back into a major support level. Came back to the low of that range. Moves up, looks a bit ill, and so on. So every time, the best time to get this is when it looks a bit ill. The best trades quite often don't feel right. Somebody said that to me years ago, and I thought, yeah, they don't feel right, do they? Taking a trade when this is dropping doesn't feel right. But quite often, as long as you've done your homework and and your strategy is in place, then you can trade that and catch the moves. Somebody also said to me, another wise trader said to me, no such thing as a bad entry, only a bad exit. Now, you want to be careful with that one, because that implies you can just jump in. So I don't talk about that one very much, because I think that encourages people just to jump in. But the point is, don't worry so much about the pennies on a pullback. Worry about the pounds on the bigger image. So there you get there's the structural breakup of that one. I mean, wheat. I like wheat. Fell off the edge, getting to 520. Same process. So we're up there at 552. Came down to 518, 517, 518. Started buying on this dip, and then we got a nice little breakout. So I think that's heading for 566 and higher. I think that's heading for $6. Any pullback now to 530, we're only 535, so there's still plenty of time. 530 I would add on that one, on that trade. Okay, let's go to, I don't know if you guys were with me on Sunday, but I was talking about these trades. Cool. Tops tiles, really having a major problem. And it's got support down here at 40. Games Workshop. This is holding up at the moment. It's selling. So there could still be time to get short on this one. It's holding this 84. So at the moment it's working, but only just. Ideally, I would like to get short right into that 89.30, or possibly even 90, if that can get up there. In the meantime, I will stay short to see if that can drop my stop down, keep my stop 2 days behind the market price, and then see if that can continue to drop. Stuff I bought in the UK. BT's doing okay. Struggling underneath that average. BP. I didn't realise BP had been dropping back. That's not good at all. Rolls-Royce. Picking up. Needs the airlines back. Needs the airlines to get back to some sort of closer to normality. Fresnillo is just on fire. Just absolutely on fire. With gold stoked up. What a pattern. What a pattern. So the structural support that was down there at 720 gaps up, fills the gap, closes above 787, and it's just unstoppable at the moment. So its major resistance is up there at 1343. To get in that, wow, I mean, that's just left the station, hasn't it? That's really hard to call. That's a fantastic wave. Doesn't often happen, but there you are. I can't suggest where you get in that because it just, I mean, you'd need to get back to the £10 mark, I think, to get in on that. And any other stocks? What do I like? That's not, that's been up as high as 200. Can't remember what they do. Should know this. Broken out of that little funnel pattern, so that stands a chance. I think I might dip my toe in this one. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to wait and see if that closes above 120. This is GNC green core. If that green core closes above 120, I'm going to be in that. But at the moment, the jury's out. Okay, let's look at some US stocks. Mylan still creeping up, not doing fantastic, but creeping up. Moderna pulling back. Medtronic doing well, looking as if we could see 102 soon. Gilead not doing anything at the moment. Bristol Myers holding 60. I like this one. That very similar pattern to Fresnillo before that bust up. So that's got potential to get back to 68 on Bristol Myers Squibb. AbbVie pulled right back to support. Now that's really interesting, because if that starts closing above 98, that could be at 107, 108 pretty quick. But a lot of selling, quite some heavy selling last couple of days. So let's see if that can hold that one. All right, let's look at some Forex. You're very quiet. You guys got anything you want to ask me or anything? What trades are you in? Anybody in a trade at the moment? So the pound's done, that weak dollar has lifted the pound up to close to this 128. Euro is struggling. Nasdaq, okay. Well, that euro is really hot. No wonder the DAX is struggling. A strong dollar, strong euro does not favour the DAX. It means their exports are more expensive. Means when they transfer dollar profits back, they get less euros. So it hits the bottom line. I'll just look at the natural gas, because I forgot to look at natural gas. Yeah, this is looking good here. This 1650's got bought. So I would expect to see natural gas start to push higher now. That's a very good looking chart there. We start closing above that trend line, and I think that can get back to 20 pretty quick. This is a good time of year to start to look at something like gas. Next, silver. Yeah, I did look at silver, did I? Let's look at silver. Wow. Incredible. Wow, that was so slow down here, wasn't it? It looked pathetic. But yeah, as soon as you back in late June, that's fantastic. What a breakout. Are you in this, Ivan? You trading this? Look how it's hit that 2304 at the highs. Nasdaq, yeah, Nasdaq is a very interesting indice. I should have done this initially. Wow. I think yeah, Tesla are you are Nasdaq, right? Tesla's reporting. I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? Let me find out. I'll leave it. They are reporting very, very soon, so that's going to have a major impact on this one. I mean, we've seen profit taking in Amazon. Yeah, so you can see the correlation between the Nasdaq and that chart. So we could come all the way back down to 3,000 on that and then start climbing higher. Incredible charts. Okay. So I like the soft commodities like wheat. Metals are just on fire. I mean, even copper. Even copper's looking like the Nasdaq, just sitting up high, and wow, incredible. We're breaking 2020, above January highs, coming into April 19. Yeah, we just hit April 19 levels. Incredible. Amazing charts. Any other? Let's look at CAD yen. Looks like this one on Sunday. Yeah, there's the breakout in the CAD yen. So the support down there at 78.80 has now got that as far as 80, and that looks as if that can continue higher. So it's a real risk-on environment overall at the moment. The markets are pushing aside any weak news at the moment and just continuing higher. Right. Any other stocks you want me to look at? Any other markets at all? So I like gas a lot. I like gas, wheat. Metals have gone, pretty much gone. US indices appear to be the ones to get in. I think looking back on it, it looks to me as if this this Dow could be on the verge of a really good breakout. It's just waiting, just seems to be waiting for a bit more of a lift. So at the moment, the pullbacks are definitely getting bought on that one. Take that red area off, actually. So we are holding up, and holding up well. Right. If you want to, a couple of things you can do. If you want to get involved in my newsletter, then come on to this page. Come down to the bottom of the critical page, and then you can join the membership for £29 a month if you want to get more stocks and more heads up on some of these markets. If you want day trade, come to Scalper School. I trade futures and spread betting in the room on the US Dow and oil. Otherwise, the next session, free session, is Sunday at 7. If you have not got the link for that, I will. That's on the website as well. You come to the home page, scroll down to what are your biggest challenges, click on big picture, and there you go. That's all about the Sunday event. Right, okay, no more questions coming in, so I will leave it there. Take a break from my screens, and wish you good luck. Final call for questions. Okay. Brilliant. Thanks for joining me, guys. And I hope on Sunday is going to be more extensive, and I'll look into a wider range of stocks. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck, and see you on Sunday if you're around. Thanks very much, and bye for now.